Hello everyone, I'm finally here sitting down to talk to you guys and answer your questions. I know I've asked y'all to ask me questions on Instagram a million times and I've never gotten around to it, but now I am. Mainly because I can't do anything else because my back hurts from deadlifting, but we're not going to get into that because that's not what this video is about. It's about everything else. I'm pulling my questions from y'all's responses on Instagram, so let's get into it. I did realize one of my most popular questions is, when did you start working out? And why? And I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna yap about it because I can, because this is YouTube and I have the time. I will say that my dad actually played a huge role in getting me into the gym. When I was around 13, 14-ish, I honestly didn't have many friends. I hate to say that, but like, it's not to be like sad or anything, but like, let's paint the picture. I was 13, probably a loser. I had nothing to do. I was extremely bored, staying up all night, and I would do anything but homework. My dad was working all day, every day, so he didn't really have time to work out during the day, but he sure did find some time late at night. And if I couldn't sleep, then I was probably going to the gym with my dad. Now, this wasn't consistent at all. This was like, you know, maybe once or twice every other week. So I wouldn't really count that as starting my fitness journey, but it definitely did get me comfortable with the idea of lifting weights. Now, I didn't become consistent until I was around 17 because that's when I graduated high school early. And I had a little gap semester because I didn't apply for college yet. So I had a little bit of extra time. I was working, but I would find time to go to the new gym called Phase that had opened up that year. And yeah, I was a little bit of a cardio bunny. I'm not gonna lie. I would just hit legs and literally do cardio because I wanted to be slim thick, but that changed. Of course, I got bored of it and I started lifting weights. And I was like, wow, this is so much more fun. And it got a little bit out of hand. I was probably working out 3 or 4 times a week at the beginning, and then COVID hit, and then I started doing at-home workouts. And I was like, I was just having that feeling of like, oh my gosh, like if I don't do some type of activity today, if I'm not active, I don't feel productive, I don't feel good. So I realized that it was making me feel better mentally and physically. And that's when I absolutely started to love it. I believe that was also when I was in a long distance relationship for the very beginning of my fitness journey. So I didn't really try to make new friends. That sounds so bad, but I was attached. I was attached in that relationship for sure. And so the only thing I could do or thought I could do for myself was go to the gym. I mean, it worked out for me. It did. It's not the worst thing to be addicted to, but yeah. That was there for me. It was great. I started making new friends in the gym and I was like, wow, this is like my social time and it's my hobby and it makes me feel good. So it's good for me. So, I mean, what can go wrong? Now it is also my job. So I do need to find another hobby so I can continue to take care of myself without monetizing it, which is a lot harder than you'd think. Another question I get quite often that's not necessarily fitness related is, what do I study at my university? Well, this also... Yap sesh incoming. Sorry, guys. I was originally a kinesiology major, which is kind of hilarious because I thought my life revolved around fitness. And I was like, I can't have that. It's not like the worst thing ever, but I just knew I was going to get bored of it. And I was right. So I'm glad I changed my major when I did. I also started at University of Alabama in Huntsville, which is like 20 minutes from where I live. So of course I was just commuting every day. For the first year, it was during COVID, so most of it was online. Hated it, absolute dog. Sophomore year, it was like hybrid, so half online, half in person with mandatory Zoom calls. So again, it was dog. I did not really enjoy my time there. It just wasn't for me. I was still in that relationship, so I had plans to move since we were long distance and move in with them. That was very short-lived. We ended up splitting up maybe a couple months after we made those plans, but I had enough time to change my major and switch schools so I could transfer completely online to go move with them. Most people would be like, oh, what the heck? Why? How are you not? How's that not super annoying? It was the best thing that ever happened to me. When I say everything happens for a reason, I'm not saying the breakup was, but like we're not getting into that. But that situation, like, I'm so glad that I was so freaking stupid, like stupid enough to change my major and switch schools and go completely online for a boy, because it ended up working out so well for me And that's usually not how it goes. Towards the end of that year was when I was getting brand deals, and I was also being flown out, and I was able to go on these awesome trips and network with different companies. Like my first shoot ever, I was flown out to Miami with TLF, and then shortly after I was flown out to Stort, Florida. Literally like a couple weeks later with Raw Nutrition. I was signed with both of them at the time. It was great. I'd also worked with Gymshark and Naka, Raw Gear, like all of it. I had tested the waters. I was able to get my foot in the door in the fitness industry, and I was so happy about it. And it did take me a while to pick. How did I get here? Oh my God, I didn't even answer the question. I would say I'm sorry, but I told you a yap sesh was coming. I'm a communications major, public relations. My minor is in digital consumer engagement. So I feel like everything kind of relates to what I'm doing now. But like on the other end, like obviously like I'm communicating with a lot of people online. It's way more and way deeper than that. It's like how you represent yourself and how you connect with other people, and behind it, you have to understand how they think. I know a lot of people think, oh, it's a useless major. I joke about it too, but honestly, if I'm learning something, I don't think anything is useless. Yeah, I am going for a piece of paper. I put so much time and money into school. Do I necessarily need it with the path I'm probably going to take? Probably not. Is it going to hurt me? Absolutely not. I honestly don't know what's happening here. I totally messed up the setup, but it's okay. Bear with me. My back is kind of killing me, and I think it's time to change the subject. So, next question. Any advice for a person starting out making fitness content and how to feel more confident? All right, guys. With fitness content, I will say it seems like we are getting pretty oversaturated here. And there's still room for everyone everywhere. There's literally an audience for every single person, every niche, everything. It's a matter of being yourself and like actually showing your personality. I feel like a lot of people are too scared to be honest online, and they're trying to fit into a box with a whole bunch of other people. They see something works for someone and they want to replicate it. And when you replicate it, it doesn't usually work out because it's already been done. Like if you already have that, why would you need another one? You know what I mean? That sounds kind of harsh, but it's true. And I have fallen victim to this as well. Like I do trends sometimes because I'm like, oh, that was cool. Like, let me do it. I've kind of gotten out of the mindset of like, oh, this did well, let me do that. It's more of like, I like how this looks, I'm inspired, like I want to do something like that. It's a little bit different. I think it's a lot healthier to think that way and not really set too high of expectations engagement wise, because it really is a matter of reach, and there's just so many people, not only in the fitness industry, just providing content, making content. I've noticed that we've seemed to have so many creators and not as many consumers. And as a creator, I have stopped consuming a lot of content because honestly, social media has become work for me, and I don't really scroll and watch fitness content. Yeah, I provide fitness content, but I don't absorb it. Like I honestly, if I'm on TikTok, it's probably gonna be videos of babies, animals, or some really stupid humor that only I will laugh at. I mean, it's never a lifting video. Like if I see it, I'm scrolling. And that's just me. I feel like a lot of people have already learned what they needed to learn, most of the beginners who are consuming the content, and now they're making content. It is what it is. I'd say make content doing what you love, make content that you would want to consume yourself, share your personality. Also, if you have like 2 posts up, like I really don't feel for you. I'm not like targeting you. I don't even know what, yeah, I don't even, whoa, that sounded aggressive, but I've seen it. I've seen a lot of people text me and they're like, hey, like my account hasn't grown. Like I need advice. Have you tried yet? You have 1 post. You haven't posted since like 3 months ago. Like, are you really trying? Are you being consistent? Or are you giving up when something doesn't do well at the very beginning? Think that way. You gotta think that way. I'm sorry. You've heard it before, and I will tell you again, consistency is key to absolutely everything. And that's like all you need. That's all you need to know. This one's a little bit of a different one, and I'm running out of time. This is so sad. I just can't stop yapping. Someone asked what camera I shoot on. If you've seen higher quality photos or videos especially, it's probably on my Sony ZV-1. I also went back to my old camera that I had when I was like a freshman in high school. I will never get rid of her. This is the Canon Rebel T5. Of course, I have the Fix 50 because it makes portraits look so good, but most of my content is shot on my iPhone, which I'm using right now because the battery life on this sucks and I can't even find the battery charger. Honestly, I think I have the iPhone 14 Pro, but I could be wrong. If you have an iPhone, it's probably fine. Just use that for now. How did you get such a good physique? Big arms, small waist, without tracking. All right, so I get a lot of related questions and I'm flattered that people ask me that, but I will say, I know I don't track. I eat intuitively and I've never tracked in my life. If I ever looked at a macro, I was like, I need to prioritize protein, and now I don't even do that. That's not necessarily the right path to take, but I am 21, and I know my body, hence intuitive eating. Like, I know when I'm not hungry anymore and I can stop, and I also know how my body's going to react to certain types of foods. I'm aware of how much energy I'm going to have, and I'm aware of how I'm going to feel if I don't eat that meal. A lot of my fat cells or whatever, are in my legs. To lean them out, it would take a freaking lot. It would take a lot. I don't do cardio. I probably should. I might start just for my cardiovascular health, but that's like the only reason. I do have abs, and I know abs are made in the kitchen. It's 80% diet, 20% exercise, but I am naturally very lean in my stomach and on my back, and I carry the most fat on my lower body, and that's just how it is, and that's just genetics, and there's just nothing you can do about it, which is cool in some ways. That makes us all different and unique, but it also sucks in some cases. So yeah, that is basically why I'm built this way and how I can not track my food and not worry about losing my abs or, you know, the rest of it. On the bright side, you can train your back. I've definitely trained the flip out of my back. I actually need to post a new back workout because y'all have been begging me, which I'm also flattered, but my back is kind of broken right now. But when I heal, I will be filming that for you guys. But yeah, if you work your upper back, you know, your lats are growing, everything's growing, you'll start getting that V taper. It makes your waist look a little slutty. It makes it look so much smaller than it actually is, because let's be real, you can't actually shrink your waist, but you can make it look smaller by making everything else around it wider. So you got to think about that as well. I'm actually running out of storage, so we're going to answer as many as we can before I do. What is your training split? Okay, Monday, chest, tries, chest, tries, shoulders. Tuesday, back and biceps. Wednesday, leg day. Thursday, chest, tries, shoulders. Chloe? Okay, my dog is hitting the door. Friday, back and biceps. Saturday, legs. And then Sunday, rest. That is going to change this year. I want to have 3 leg days a week. I don't love legs, but I'm going to make myself love legs. I need to, okay? Something's going to change and I'm going to rest more. Okay, I'm out of storage, so we're going to have to do a part 2. Bye, guys. Thank you for watching.